Hello everyone, it's Kat and I'm back today to start my project pan of 2025. This is almost a full face. I've omitted a couple of products because I don't have many of them or I don't want to use them up, whatever. But what I did earlier today was I did a live chat and I talked through all these products with a bunch of you lovely people and you helped me pick which items I should focus on this year. So thank you very much for all your help and helping me decide because I don't know. But let's run through the products that I want to pan this year. Now I've got some categories that are really blown out. So I might not see like instant results with a lot of them, but there are a few categories that I really want to knuckle down and try to use quite a lot up this year. So anyway, if you're new here and you're not familiar with my project pans, I'm Kat. Hi, nice to meet you. I like to do pretty much full face project pans and I do rolling project pans. So if I bring in the finishing spray and I use it up, I roll in a new one to replace it so I keep the progress happening. Now last year, I think I used up, it was 50 something products, I think it was. So these work really well for me and is a great way to get through my old products or the products I don't like anymore. They're starting to get a bit old. And it's just a really good way to sort of minimize my collection. I went from having a whole bunch of concealers to having no concealers and I had to buy one because I didn't have any. So these projects can work really well, but they can take a lot of time to see some progress, but it's very rewarding when you do. I did do a video a couple of years ago talking about if you're interested in starting a project pan, some tips and tricks. If that is still relevant, I will leave that linked in the description box, but let's get into the products that I'm focusing on now. Let's start with primers. So I am going to be using up this product here. This is the Mecca BB Boomer Primer. So it's supposed to help your makeup adhere to your skin, which is great, but it also has this like pink iridescence to it. So it is a bit of an illuminating one. I don't know if I want that, but I want to give it a try and worst case scenario, I will declutter it if I don't like it. Again, my past projects have been so successful that I don't actually have many primers to use up, which is great. So this one is just there by default. A foundation that I've been trying to use up recently, and since finishing my last project pan, this is the one I've been using pretty much every day. It is the Revlon Colorstay Longwear Makeup for combination oily skin. I really like it. It works well, but I've got better foundations these days, so I want to use it up. This one is going to be a fairly easy one to use up because it is down to around here. Again, it was higher. I've used it a lot recently. I'm going to mark that bottle, but it is one that I should see some quick progress on. It's also one that I use every day, so it's very easy to see that progress happening pretty quickly. One that you guys helped me pick out was this Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear. This is one that I've had in a box for like 5 years. I have not opened it. I have not touched it. It was a backup because I really liked the one that I used at the time. And then I saw this was on sale. It was like 50% off or something. So I picked it up. I don't even know if this shade suits me. I don't know. I don't know if this has gone bad. It smells the same, but this is a complete full bottle. So because it is so old, you lovely people decided that this is something that I should try, at least give a shot. And then if I don't like it, I can declutter it and use something else. But it is worth using before it goes bad. And I 100% agree. So once the Revlon one is done, I'm going to go over to the full bottle, the Lancome foundation. No concealers because I literally have one and I just opened it last week, but I do have two powders I want to use up. One is by Nikkia Joy. This is just the pressed powder. It's a very nice powder. I'm mainly only using it up because it is the only pressed powder I have. It's already got pan on it and it is the only powder I can bring with me because it's the only pressed one I have. So yeah, it is an easy one to use up. Again, it's not going to take too long because it's got quite a big pan on it already. So this is sort of like a nice easing into panning things. The next one is a loose powder. I want to use this up in summer because it is one of those mattifying powders and they're just too drying. I can maybe get away with it in summer because I get a bit sweaty and a bit more oily, but the rest of the year, this is a no-go. This is by Pixi. This is the H2O Skinveil powder in translucent. It looks like there's not much left in it. So I don't know if you can see, but it's like down to here. That's just simply because it's such a small, like finely milled powder, but a small amount goes a long way. So I think this will be surprisingly challenging to use up, but I want it gone. No bronzers because I haven't used bronzer in a year and I'm not going going to start just to use it up. But I have a lot of blushes that I want to use up. And I am wearing multiples of these on my face today because when I did the live chat, I was just trying out different stuff and layering. So that's why I've got a lot going on because I was, testing out a whole bunch of stuff. One is by Hourglass. This is the Mecca Glow. It was a limited edition shade. It is this nice sort of corally pink with sort of like a champagne veining through it. I will take photos of these and I'll keep track of them mainly by photos or weight. Now I did have this on today as the base, but I added a lot more. It does look corally, but it does on me look quite pink. It is quite pretty. It's got a bit of a sheen, nothing too shiny, but I find baked products are quite easy to get through because you can pick up quite a lot with the brush, especially if you have a big fluffy brush and you sort of just like drape it on your face. You can actually use quite a lot. Another one that falls into that same sort of category of baked, easy to use products is this M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Magic Hour. This one is just a little bit more muted in the color. So if I don't want something that's too bold in color, I've got another option. So I really like that. It's also a really nice formula. I just haven't really used it too much. So this is an opportunity to get some use on that one. And again, it's got that sort of glowy finish, which is really pretty. So it's not matte and dry looking. It gives a bit of luminosity. I've got two mini Rare Beauty, a blush and a highlighter. This was in a Christmas pack, not this past Christmas, the Christmas before. I've got two highlighters and two blushes from that pack. These are more of the summery shades. It's like a peachy blush and like a gold highlighter. I can mix these together. I can use them individually. I think it'll be kind of fun panning these, and especially if I want to reach for a liquid option, I've got these. And then if I do well with these, I'm going to bring in the other two in winter. So there's more of like a pink berry and more of like a rose gold highlighter. So those are things I'm going to be weighing and tracking. A highlighter that I'm bringing over from last year is my Nabla Ozone highlighter. I love this. It's really beautiful. It goes with pretty much everything. I wasn't making heaps of progress last year simply because I had some very shiny blushes that this was like overkill on. But luckily these sort of blushes, they're shiny, but they're not highlight shiny. So this one I can easily layer, which is what I've done today. So that is the blush, or multiple blushes with the highlighter on top, and it just works really nicely to make that sort of glass skin effect. So I'm going to continue using this. I've worn this down quite a bit, so you can start seeing like the shape design from the mesh. Like it's not the mesh coming through, but it's just like it's settled into the mesh and made like a design. But I'll take photos of that and keep track of that. Onto eyes, I'm going to try to use up my Kaleidos. This is the Tone Activator Eye Primer. It's fine, it's nice, it works quite well. I think I've used quite a lot of this. It's probably halfway gone. And it's just getting really grubby in my drawer, so I want to use this up. I also don't have many eyeshadow primers. I've got like one other one. So that one is one that I don't like to bring with me in my makeup bag because it's a squeeze bottle. It's a bit messier. The other one I have has a doe foot. It's a little bit cleaner to use. So this one is the one that I'm going to use at my makeup table every day. And then the eyeshadows I'm going to use, I've got two. So I've got a little palette that I'm going to focus mainly on a couple of shades. This is the Nabla Cutie palette in the shade Nude, number 1 Nude. Now there's two shades here that I particularly love, these two here. So this beautiful rosy shade that's very metallic and pretty, and this sort of bronzy shade. I was tempted when I did a declutter like earlier last year to get rid of this palette, but when I saw those two shades, I'm like, no, I've got to use them. So my goal is to use up those two and then use these other ones when I want to. These were mousse sort of putty formula. They've since quite dried out, so they're a little bit drier and not the nicest to use, but they're nice shades, so I'll see how I go with them. But my focus mainly is here, and then use whatever I can. Then I discovered my iconic London. These are the Chrome Flash Eye Pots. This is the shade Mystic. It's very beautiful. So it's this beautiful, again, similar to that sort of, looks a little bit like this shade here. So it's got a little bit of a mauvey tone to it, but it's very, very shiny and metallic, but this is dried out. Now, if I do use Duraline to reactivate it, this is a really beautiful one and done pot eyeshadow. I don't want to waste it. I want to use it up. So there's not heaps in there. It's sort of like compacted down, but when I do use it, it sort of creates a bit like a paint, or you can sort of buff it in a little bit. It's really pretty, but this is one that I think it's going to take a while, but it's the effect is so nice that I don't want to throw it out just because it's dried out a bit. I've got a lot of eyeliners and they're getting dry, so I've got to start using them. So I decided this year was going to be the year where I want to pan a lot of pencil liners, and I've got a bunch in this project. Now, I was thinking of just like targeting one or two and then rotating in new ones, but I'm just going to put them all in. I've got a liquid liner from Mecca Max, so this is just a black. It works fine. I like to have one. I don't use them daily, but I like to have them for when I want to do like a more precise black wing liner. So I thought this was a good one to have in. I also have a brown pencil from Mecca Max. So this is in the shade Espresso, and this is just a retractable brown. I really love a dark brown because I use them not only to blend out like the lash line, a bit of a smudgy effect. I like to put them on my tight line to make my lashes look more intense. And it's just like a liner that I use every day. This is how much I have, so there's not heaps left, but it just shows that a dark brown liner I use, it's my most used eyeliner color. So this one should be easy to get through. Then I've got colors. So this green one, this is by Revlon. It's the Colorstay eyeliner in the shade Jade. This one pairs really beautifully with those mauvey toned eyeshadows, so that pot eyeshadow, that other one in the Nabla palette. So I thought it was a really nice one to put there because they just complement brown eyes really well. Then I have 3 colored eyeliners that are starting to dry out a little bit. So 2 of them are from Marc Jacobs, one in the shade Out of the Blue and one in the shade Mist Me. And these ones, I just want to see how I go with them. If they're too dry and hard to use and hard to get on the lid, I'm just going to get rid of them. It is what it is. But I would be really upset if I didn't try to use them up first. So those are the colors there. I don't know what to do with the light purple. I'm going to maybe put it on like the lash line or something, blend it out, lower lash line. But I do love a cobalt blue liner. I'm wearing a cobalt blue liner today. It's one that I can wear with a nude eye really easily. So these ones, I want to see how I can go with them. And then lastly, I've got this really beautiful one from Maybelline. This is the Tattoo Liner in the shade Striking Navy. Gorgeous. This one, if you like a dark sort of like ocean blue, so it's sort of like a little bit navy, a little bit green toned, it's really, really pretty. It's that one there. It's beautifully rich, but it is starting to get a bit dry. So this one's sharpenable, should be fairly easy to use. And again, it's just like I can wear that on a daily basis, on the lash line, on the waterline, on the lid, whatever. It's beautiful. So those are the liners I'm going to try to use up. And then as soon as I use up something in that category, I might replace it. Like if I use up a brown, for example, I'll replace it with another brown. But I'll try to whittle down these colors before I add in any more. I actually don't have many brow colored products, so I'm not going to add them into this project, but I do have 4 clear brow gels that I just don't use. So I'm adding in this Winky Lux Unibrow Universal Brow Gel simply because I don't have much left in it. So I feel like this is an easy start, and then I will just keep working in the other ones. This one is virtually empty though. I don't know if it's dried out. I don't know what's happened. I really didn't use it that much. So that should be a fairly easy one to get started as long as I use it. That's the hard part because I don't often use brow gels, but we'll try. Okay, lips is a huge category as well. I've got a lot of lip products. I wear lip products fairly regularly. I reapply, so I'm going to be quite ambitious with it. I've decided to incorporate a lip liner. I don't really use lip liners, but this one by Colourpop is a really nice one. I've worn this in a few videos recently, just as my lip color, and people have been like, that's a beautiful lipstick. And I'm like, thanks, it's a Colourpop old lip liner. This is in the shade Another Round. So this is just a nice sort of nudie pink. It is essentially my lip color. So I'm just going to apply it and just wear it as a lip product and then maybe put a gloss over the top. But I want to, again, whittle down my lip liner collection as well as my eyeliner collection. They're getting old. I don't use them enough, so I'm going to try to get use out of them. Got a lot of lip products. So in terms of clear products, I've got a lip balm here that I keep next to my bed. It is the Kiehl's Butter Mask for Lips. Now this lid has gotten really funky. I'll have a close up on the screen so you can see. I had this in a bag with Airguard, so like, you know, bug spray and sunscreen, and I think the bug spray leaked out and started messing with the lid. So it's icky and yuck looking. It also looks like the cap has cracked, so I want to use this up. This is one I'm going to use before I go to bed. It's like halfway done, not quite. It's like down to that main area, but I can use it quite a lot. So that one is one that I want to focus on just because it's looking funky. I also want to use this tiny mini from Kevyn Aucoin. It's the Glass Glow Up Lip Gloss in Gold Beam. It's a clear with a bit of a gold shimmer. Really, really pretty, really wet looking, glossy, comfortable, easy to use. This is an easy one. It's already halfway done, as you can see. And I can layer this on top of the lip liner, for example. I could just use it wherever. So I think this is a fun one to just use up. I do have a nude gloss. Last year I did successfully pan a Pat McGrath lip gloss, and I said I had 2 others. This is one of them. This is a lighter shade. It's in the shade Faux Real. Really nice gloss, looks really pretty, feels really nice. I may as well put it on. This is like a really light nude. Really pretty on the lips, not too much pigment that it looks too much. Easy to put on, comfortable. My only problem with these is that they're so expensive. I got them when they were like drastically reduced, which is why I bought 3. They are getting thicker over time, so I do want to use them up, but they're really lovely to use. So this one I'm going to just keep reaching for. It's like going to be my light nude, really easy, yeah, throw on like minimal makeup look. So happy to use that. The lip that I just covered was a liquid lipstick by Suva Beauty. So Suva Beauty has closed down, and this was one of my favorite products from them. This is the Moisture Matte Liquid Lipstick in Badnam. Now, liquid lipsticks, I've sort of gone off them. I really like the effect of them, but they are a little bit less comfortable than your standard lipstick. But this is really beautiful, and being a moisture matte, it does have some moisture in it. It's just a really nice thin formula and a really beautiful color. So that's what I had on underneath this, and I want to use this up before it dries out. The last nude sort of product is by Colourpop. This is a lippy stick in the shade Brat Pack. This is a lot darker, so it's more of a browny glossy nude. Really pretty. This is going to be great in autumn. So it gives you that sort of almost like chestnut brown glossy effect. Really comfortable. Really like it. Again, I'm looking forward to sort of using that up and having that in my handbag. There is a bit in there because it is one of those sort of slim sticks. I should be able to get through it pretty quickly. And you can use a bit of it because it is pigmented, but it's also very glossy as well. So you can sort of blot it down or build it up. I'm bringing back my Huggable Lip Color by MAC. This is in the shade Cherry Glaze. I don't have much of this left. This was a product that I was trying to pan last year. I kept losing it or throwing it on the ground. As I sit here, I now have a dot on one leg, a dot on the other leg, and then a few dots on my carpet. So I'm going to clean that in a minute. But this is a really beautiful cherry red gloss. Very high shine, so it's there. You can blot it down for it to be more of like a coral lip balm, or you can build it up to be a really, really glossy red. I think it's really fun. I love it. I don't want to leave it because I don't want to get rid of it because it's such a beautiful formula, and I did so much progress last year. It's just that I lost it in the wrong pocket of a handbag that I didn't get to finish it, so I'm going to try to finish it this year, and preferably before it gets into autumn, because that's a really beautiful, fun, sort of summery glossy red lip. It's really great for this time of year. The last 2 products are little minis. So I've got a little lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. I love this. This is called Amazing Amal. I have a couple of these minis. I'm going to try to work through them this year. This one is a really nice one. Again, it's probably better in autumn. This is sort of like a plummy pink, but it's almost like a deep nude. So really, really pretty. You can put it on quite boldly to make it look a little bit more berry on my skin tone, or blot it down so it looks a little bit more of like a pinky nude stain. Really tiny, so I'm hoping I can make some progress, but I do have a few from this range so in the minis, so I'll use them over time. Lastly, I have a little YSL. This is the Tatouage Couture Matte Stain in the shade 16. This is one that I think I got in a Mecca Beauty loot box. It's been hanging around for a while. It's a really nice color for this time of year. So it's a little bit similar to that last lipstick, but a little bit more sort of vibrant, a little bit more sort of peach toned, I guess. So it's one that I'm going to try to wear a bit in summer. Oops, I forgot to mention this as well. This is a finishing spray. It's by Smashbox. It is the Photo Finish Love Ritual Primer Water, and it is quite low. So this is, again, one of those products that I could possibly use up in the next month or two, especially since it's quite hot and it's nice and refreshing to have a nice mist. So I'm hoping that this one will be an easy finish. So I have overloaded myself a lot with these products, especially the lips and the eyeliners, but two reasons. One, eyeliners, if they're not working, I'm going to declutter them, because if they're, too dry and not working, I'd prefer to give them a try and then get rid of them. And with the lip products, I'm well aware that at any point in time, I'm probably going to lose 2 of them in a handbag or something. So I may as well have quite a lot of them to work through. But what I'm going to go off and do now is take some progress shots, mark them, do whatever I need to do. But then I'll check back in a month and let you know how my first month of progress has been going. So if you're doing a project pan, I'd love to hear about the products you're including. Are there any categories that you're really excited to pan? Are there any expectations you have? Tell me all the things. I'll chat to you in the comments. Thank you to all the people who joined my live chat and helped me pick out these products. Very, very helpful, made my job a bit easier. And a huge thank you to my members for supporting my channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.